Lirandzu, so it's a dialogue addressing the challenges faced by women when seeking land. This must be an incredibly wide-ranging issues. What are some of the things that came out of this event?
Quite robust discussions were happening here, Michelle. In fact, they're still going on at this auditorium behind me, where we're seeing not only just political figures such as the Minister of Women, Bathabile Dlamini, give a very thorough presentation of her take with regards to what seems to be fueling this landlessness of women in South Africa. In a nutshell, Michelle, the minister basically said that it is the likes of patriarchy, it's the likes of tradition, and of course discrimination, where it be on the field or where it be in the boardrooms. That's the reasons why women are still really in the back foot when it comes to the acquisition of land, access to land, the ownership of land. But of course, we also heard from black farmers, black female farmers, Michelle. The one who really stuck out for me was just talking about how, you know, she has to rent out the space where she is basically breeding livestock, and because of the difficulty that she's experienced in terms of securing land of her own, saying that she was a person, or she's a person that's grown up in a township where historically her family doesn't have necessarily access to land, but just her acquiring land has been such an uphill. And this seems to be really the sentiment of a lot of women. A lot of women have come out, legal experts, talking about how women are really viewed in a traditional sense when it comes to customary marriages, saying that women are still viewed as children, really, saying that a lot of title deeds are still under men. A lot of the things that really need to get women back on the same level as men are still hindering women. And this really just boils down to patriarchy, it boils down to discrimination, but more than anything, it also boils down to tradition. But I did I was able to pull out one of the panel guests today, Michelle, who was just talking about the sort of like revolution that is bubbling under when it comes to women. I do have with me Precious Banda from the Young Women's Desk of the ANC Women's League. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It has been a really robust discussions in them. Tell us about what you have come to tell not only the minister, but to tell the government of the day with regards to giving women land.
As we had said earlier inside the symposium and the discussions that are taking place, that the struggle for land is the struggle for women emancipation. Our call to land must not be seen in isolation to our broader call to women emancipation. And we believe that if women are empowered with land, if women own land, it would resolve some of the questions and the situations that women are confronted with. But what we want our government to note is that women are very angry and women are becoming highly organized. And if they do not do something quicker, if the government of the day, the government of the ANC does not do something quicker, there is a revolution for women that they are not going to be able to contend. That's why we are saying we know they're a listening government, we know they're a government of the people, therefore they must listen to the people and they must listen to women as women call for land expropriation without compensation, and such land must be beneficial to women also.
So expropriation with or without compensation, obviously that's something that has been discussed here, and something that the ANC Women's League is obviously, for, with regards to the expropriation without compensation. But over and above that, Precious, tell us about, with regards to the people that are plowing the land, people that are on the ground. I mean, you mentioned how women all over the country are sick and tired of plowing land that they just don't have access to. How is the situation on the ground?
The truth of the matter is that majority farm workers are in fact women. Those who work the land are in majority women. Now, these are people that produce the food. These are people that work for farm owners. These are people that work for those that have power and resources to farm, but they do the actual work, the actual food production. And we are saying it cannot continue that these women fail to even go and vote because farm owners have not release them to go and vote. It cannot work anymore that these women plow and plant the fruits, the vegetables, which them and their kids are not able to eat. It cannot work anymore that children of farm workers live in sorrow and even suffer from malnutrition. That cannot work. The women must be given the land, they must work the land, they must produce for themselves, and not just as labor but as owners of this land which they work.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
That was Precious Banda, Michelle, just outlining what she basically represented and also what she outlined in this discussion, this all-important discussion. In fact, one of the council members, the executive directors, really telling the women gathered here, saying that it is a discussion that's long overdue. It is a discussion that needs to not just end here, but be taken to Parliament. And that's exactly what's going to happen with the recommendations that come out of this panel discussion, where we understand that is going to be handed over to the committee that's looking into the land debate.